So this is the question and answer section. I call it the interview.
And-
Jax doesn't love that.
we never agreed on calling it that.
We could call it the circle back.
Yuck.
We could call it the follow up.
Why can't, what, the chat?
Basically, yeah, the chat. I don't know.
Why don't we just call
the
it questions?
chat AWJ? So instead of chat GBT? No. Essentially, it's a question and answer. So every week we're going to put out questions for you. And we got some great ones this week. And the first one, I wanted to spell this right away. The Traveling Yoga asks, Adam, are you still married? No ring a ding. As in, I'm not wearing a wedding ring.
Where is your wedding ring?
So I lost my wedding ring over a year ago at a beach.
Have you not been wearing it for a year?
No, I haven't been wearing it for a year. Now, I'm still completely married and everything's good, but I lost it at a shoot at a beach. I left it at Woodbine Beach on a lifeguard thing. We were launching my other co-host, my other show, Steve, into Lake Ontario in a kayak. For a charity event, and he was not doing well. And anyway, I took it off so I wouldn't lose it, and I left it there, and it's gone. And so my goal for 2025 is to replace it. And it's something that I really regret because like I lose things all the time. But that thing, perhaps most of all, represented like
marriage.
Well, not just marriage, but like, I'd already done marriage.
I was going to say,
I already did. This is like a second chance.
I was going to say, can you wear your old one?
No, that's gone now.
Okay.
But it had an etching in it and everything, and it had the date on it and whatever. And I'm sad that it's gone.
How does Natalie feel about this? Because I'm upset. I'm upset too that I didn't notice.
She accepts me for who I am. She actually is not too upset about
Weren't you one of those like silicone ones that all the foolish guys wear that they lose the rings?
I find those sweaty, and then I'm like, is that gonna?
You are very wet all the time.
I got wet hands, right? Like,
let me touch your hands right now.
Sweaty, right?
They're soaked.
They're sweaty.
They're
I know. It's gross.
No, I love them. They're warm.
Yeah. So Trizak asks Jax, can what you have be taught?
What?
Which I think is a nice little compliment.
Like, can what I have?
I think he's hitting on you.
Can this body be taught? No way, through discipline and strength. I don't know how to do. I'm spiraling. Help me out. Let's go to the next question. But thank you so much.
Okay, so have you watched Love Is Blind this season?
No, but I see all the TikToks that all the men look the same.
Well, okay, Love Is Blind this season. Somebody asked what our thoughts are.
You've watched, right?
Yes, and you have to watch it. There's a guy who like at the aisle skateboards down the aisle. Have you seen that? It's amazing.
Did he longboard into the venue as well?
Venue, yes. Yeah.
I saw the TikTok.
Yeah.
No,
and
I haven't
they're
watched
actually
it.
a very nice couple. It is very messy. I think the cubes, like at the beginning, is the messier part. There was like some real swings and emotion there, and I think you'll really like it. But if you haven't seen it yet, it's hard to.
Are they allowed to drink as much as they used to be able to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not as messy though. Like every couple of years you have someone who gets a little.
You remember Shane?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't forget Shane.
Shane kept it going.
So somebody said, Kathy says, how has your relationship changed now that you don't do a radio show together? Do you miss it?
I think that we see each other so much that it doesn't feel like it's changed.
No.
For the first 6 months of us not doing mornings together, because I don't even think I realized how intimate it is to see somebody, like we saw each other more than our families or our partners.
Yes.
And through a pandemic. And I think the first 6 months, once everything kind of died down, I really missed you. And you lived 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
And we saw each other maybe like once a week or once a month. But oh my God, I was like,
it is an adjustment.
I'm longing for him. But no, like you're my best friend.
We text all the time too.
But we text all the time. And now we see each other constantly. And you're always around in your truck. And so actually the first day that we stopped doing radio together, I ran into you at the dump. Do you remember that?
That's right. It was like the first day.
I saw you at the dump and you were dropping off garbage and so was I.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. And Jax has, of course, made friends with everybody at the dump.
No, she's not at that location anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure. Do you go to her location now?
No, I can only go to that. I got to go to the dump that's close.
So do you have, this is good. Lauren, do you have any Canadian businesses you love to support that we can too? Do you have any thoughts on that? Anybody that you're sort of like into that you love?
Like offhand?
I know I am just throwing this at you.
Oh my God. Actually, I think they're pronounced Linterval. Montreal-based like footwear. I get boots from them. And I love their boots because not only are they comfortable and they feel like they fit my gender, they make me taller.
Oh.
Yeah. And I could use a couple.
Somebody does ask in here, how tall is Jack?
Don't worry about it.
How tall are you?
I was at some friends last night and we measured each other like all lesbians do on a Saturday night. And I am 5'4.5".
Okay. No, you're not. Your producer Steph is saying, no, you're not. Like, Steph, how tall are you?
5'2".
She's 5'2". So wait.
And you're not that much taller than me.
What is it? What is this? I'm being cornered. I mean, this is a setup.
Were these people trustworthy that were measuring you?
They were all very
lovely. Were you wearing
lovely
shoes?
and kind.
Were you wearing the shoes you were just talking
Listen,
about?
okay. Listen, don't be homophobic. Yeah.
So somebody asked, hey guys, you were on the radio with TJ for a long, long time. For anybody that doesn't know, it was Adam Wylde, TJ, and Jax in the morning.
That's how we launched. That's our baby.
Yeah. Somebody said, there have been a couple questions about TJ. First one, do you guys still keep in touch? And the second, would you ever have him on? Are you missing TJ? Do you talk often? That's from Rachel. And the answer is we talk all the time, but it's so... it's via like TikTok videos.
I have a TikTok streak with him that I will not break. And we
every day.
And we send dark content to each other, like jokes.
Yeah.
And
he has a very dark TikTok
He's
timeline.
so funny. You've seen him a couple times this winter too. We've seen him a bunch. Yeah.
So we went for dinner in November. He came up to Toronto, and then I was down in London with a podcast of mine at the Ivy Business School for Western. And so we went for dinner afterwards. And like TJ's TJ, like he's the best. And would we have him on? Absolutely.
Whenever he wants to come
in a heartbeat. I want him on for Left on Red. Like let's do it. I think it'd be so much fun.
We'll bring a different chair in for him. We'll put him in the middle like a perch. He's very long. He's very long. Yeah.
He is, and he's in a good place. Like I think that's the thing is I think sometimes people worry about like when someone leaves a show or whatever that things were bad. And
no, we're all still great friends.
We're all still friends.
There's no drama.
It's really hard to, leave behind 5 years of waking up super early together, right?
Yeah.
You can't just like that doesn't just switch off, I don't think. So yeah, we're all pretty close. I just wish he lived in Toronto, but he's got a beautiful house in London, and I don't blame him.
I think people wanted a wild story, but it's just sexual tension was too much, and we couldn't be together anymore.
People ask also because of the radio thing, do you guys miss your mornings together on 99.9? As in, like, do we miss being up in the morning?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, and it's not because I don't love Virgin Radio. It's not because I didn't have a blast.
Loved Virgin, loved the show. I didn't mind but the gut rot that you get from like anybody who does any sort of early morning work. I have tremendous respect for you for long term, especially news. They get up at like 3. The gut rot in your stomach is so particular, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
the feeling, even if you get 8 hours of sleep, like there's just a hole in your stomach that feels just. Yeah, I never felt rested.
There were times, and I don't know if people who are like, I don't know, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a police officer, you're ambulance,
the real
fire,
jobs.
People that work shift work, though.
The important stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the really important stuff. Your mother was that, right? She was a nurse.
Yeah.
I always think about them because I used to get up at, whatever time I got up at, and I was almost every day nauseous.
Yeah, that's it's like.
Like I would be like, there were days where I was over the toilet convinced I was gonna, retch. And I think it's one of those where now we get to do all the fun parts of the morning show without having to wake up that early. I'm not a morning person at all.
Oh, I love
That's what
morning,
I learned.
but I firmly believe that I don't think if I got sober, I would have been able to continue that because like the gut rot from that on top of like going out also and partying, I was like, it wasn't sustainable.
I remember during the pandemic, if you want to hear a funny story, Jax used to.
What is this?
Jax had just gotten sober and she was single. And there was a full moon.
Shut up.
A full moon, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like a meditation. So there's going to be a full moon that night.
Your ex-wife gave me oils and a rock.
And there was...
I still have it.
And you were meditating under the full moon. And it was like a Wednesday night at midnight. And then we knew you were doing this. We talked about it on the air. And then you had to be up the next morning. So you slept before, got up for your meditation. Was it cloudy? Did the moon actually come out?
Like, I'm not going to tell you because I don't really remember. But at that point, it was early pandemic. I was sober. I was sick. Anything that kept me going, even if it was the moon.
Yeah.
I needed it. Okay. I needed to believe in something.
Yeah. Well, I hope it, I mean, obviously it did. It worked. Last question here. And this is something I swear if you're an East Coaster and you're listening to this, we're going to be able to do this like every episode. And I'm going to call this mini segment within the interview, Does Jax Know?
Okay, you can't just keep up making up names
I
and
am doing
segments.
it right now.
Why don't I get to see this part?
Because this is funny because so if you're from the East Coast, like there is this joke about Canada, right? Like, oh, have you met Bob? Like, we're not that small.
Yeah.
But the East Coast is.
That's not true.
But it's cozy. So we're going to know, I want to know if Jax knows Brad. I have an interview, and this is the DM he sent me. I have a quick question for Jax for the next interview segment. My name is Scott. I'm from Sackville, Nova Scotia, and my cousin is Brad Legier. I believe Jax went to NSCC for radio at the same time my cousin Brad did, or they might have worked together at radio stations, I think 2010 or 2011. Does Jax remember Brad? And if so, does she have any funny stories?
Brad Legier, I like know his tattoos. I know his like eyes.
Yeah,
like I know. Who is that from?
It's from Scott's Toy Room.
Okay, so Sackville. Yeah, I went to school with Brad Legier. He was a year ahead of me. And then he worked at Live 105. And Brad,
which is an alternative rock station. Cool girl.
And I remember when I met Brad, because I started going to Nova Scotia Community College in 2008, like 2009. And I remember like meeting him, and he liked the Deftones, and I love the Deftones. And I don't know, he was just so kind. And what I'm trying to tell you is that I thought he was hot.
Oh, you thought he was hot?
Yeah. But
were you out?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you were out at that point?
I was in and out, no? Like,
no.
You
were out and about.
I was out and about, yeah. I was out and about. But like I am, I identify as queer, but I can still identify a good man.
Well, you did earlier.
He was, I know, keep him guessing. But no, he's a sweetheart. And I haven't talked to him. I think we still follow each other and stuff like that. He's an absolute doll.
Wow.
And this is really not playing my favor because yes, I know Brad from Sackville.
Love this. If you're in Nova Scotia and you believe Jax might know someone, please drop us a DM.
Somebody wrote on our TikTok not long ago, they were like, did you used to work at Sobeys on Main Street? And I said, yes, I did. I did. And I said, small world.
That is so funny.
Tacoma Sobeys.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we're 1 for 1 on Does Jax Know?
Oh my God, that's so much. Okay, you know what?
Tune in next week for the follow-up.
It is not called The Interview, though.
No, okay. Well, we'll workshop the interview name. But anyway,
please give us a better name.